Going? It's Jai, that Aussie Metal Guy here with Crannk, and it's with great pleasure that I'm having a chat with Elize, vocalist for Amaranthe, who are due to release their sixth studio album, which is arguably their heaviest and most powerful album to date, and Manifest, which comes out October 2nd. Thank you very much for making some time to have a chat with me, Elize.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's a big honor.
It's an amazing album, and it's definitely one that needs to come out and everyone needs to get in their ears at this time. It is so good, so many hooks, and it's just so many different contrasting elements. I was reading a little quote in there that said multiple moods and textures of immense power and aggression and of exquisite beauty, and it does sum it up because it's just amazing.
Wow, thank you. I'm so happy to hear you like it.
I really do. First off, can I ask how you've approached the songwriting for this album?
Oh, yeah, we started. Most of the songs were actually written in February this year. Yeah, February, it was very close to the actual recording. But we started to discuss the concept of the album already in September 2019. But yeah, we just kind of it went so fast. We went with our instant instincts, and yeah, I mean, a few songs were I was writing them on my own at home in the middle of the night with a piano, and some songs were starting out with a riff, and we did like 3 of the songs in the studio while we were already started the recording. So it was like a very, I don't know, it just kind of came spontaneously. I think for us it's probably better the less we think and the more we let our emotions decide. If that makes sense.
So, one thing I noticed with this album, Nils' vocals stand out a lot more and definitely complement the album a lot more than the Manifest one. And I think that's maybe in part because him joining 6 months before he's recorded that album, but he just sits so well, like amazingly well, all these vocal compositions, and Nils' voice seems to shine a lot more in this album.
Absolutely, and that was something that was very important for me, who is mostly responsible for the vocals. And I also could notice that, okay, well, maybe some of the songs were in not the kind of the perfect key for him on the Helix album, but that was also something because me and Olaf, we were so used to writing the songs, the two of us, and then we continued like we had done for the previous 3 albums. So I mean, that was also like a light that came up after we released after we recorded the previous album, Helix. That was like, okay, well, but Nils fits so well in this range, so we have to write. I was, really thinking like, well, this time we will not leave him in a position where it's not the right key for his voice. That's some like these things should not just be an issue because we know how good he sings. And we know what kind of songs. I was listening to him live now for the past 2 years, and I can hear like where his voice really shines, and that's why I decided to write the songs based on his range. And which is a very good thing that you notice that that it's now it's much better. I think also from myself, I guess, that it's.
So how do you go arranging these vocal compositions? Because it's, you got GG there, Prof, writing the heavy. So how does that come when you're working this album together with Olaf and arranging these vocal compositions?
Well, it's something that we just decided in the like an instant moment, and it just like comes. Like usually I hear stuff in my head, which is probably the case for most artists. Also, like for somebody who's paint a picture, maybe they see it first and then they do it. And this is how it works for us when we make the compositions as well. Like, oh, this song should be like, I don't know. It's so hard to explain, but it just comes to you. But then, of course, it's always like the hardest part is always to decide, should I start to sing? Should I sing the first verse, the pre-chorus, or it's like how we divide everything. That's something we decide usually later. or if we not decide to write a song like Boom, for example, which was obviously a song for Henrik. So
that is so cool, that Boom song, eh? That is a really, really catchy song.
That is really funny.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that Boom track. Can you tell me a little bit about that preview track, Do or Die, with Angela there? That was really cool. Because see, I know she was managing you on. Is she still managing you on that as well?
Oh yes.
Yeah, it must be good having her on there with someone of that talent as well.
Yes, absolutely. She's the best choice for us, I think, because she's she knows what it's like to be a woman. Obviously, she's been on the tours for a long time. She's a pioneer and just a very she knows a lot of things that maybe some other managers does not know. And she's very creative and she's spontaneous and she's like decidable. She's tough. She has all these kind of qualities that we need. So it was amazing when we got her on board, and things have really developed towards the more positive direction, I have to say. And also like when she came up with the idea to do a duet just like in between the albums, and just to have and to sing herself, I was like it was very shocking for me because I obviously known her since I was probably like 15 years old, and I always looked up to her, and her persona and growls are amazing. And then like to do something for me, to do something with her. I mean, she was also like, my mom always loved her, my dad and my brother, like they were all fans. And I was like, oh my God, am I gonna sing with Angela Gossow? That's so cool. And this is also, of course, very inspiring because, things you dream of or imagine, they can happen if you're brave enough to make a move and try out new things. So, and it was very fun to record the video as well. So yeah, it was a very awesome experience.
Yeah, and the track Strong with Nora is really good as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's also like something that Angela really pushed, because she was like thinking, well, but you guys, you've never done anything with anyone else. And we're like, yes, that's true. And I mean, like the metal community is not so big, and there is not too many women on that kind of level, and it's like, she was like, but feel free to do anything, because it's it's great. And also when we go on a tour together, that we have a song that we can actually perform. And the whole idea was that we would release the single at the same time we would release all the dates for our tour in the US, and then like go on the tour. But then of course that didn't happen. It got canceled because of the corona. But anyways, we got this amazing song done, and it's nice to like kind of because we're a man-dominated band, obviously, and it was really nice to have like some female empowerments besides myself as well, with around this time where everything has we've been around for a while and things are changing in the world, and like we have so great connection with like a lot of bands, especially from the Nordic countries, like so it's kind of fun. It feels like sharing your experiences with friends. Like we have Perttu from Apocalyptica playing the cello on Crystalline, and so it's like it actually gives you so much feeling that you're a unity, and that you have friends from all kinds of different bands, and that's what Angela meant. Is like, you guys, it's really, if you want to do that, you should do it, because it's just really nice to take this opportunity and really connect with other people in the same position as yourself. And she was right about that.
Yeah, no, it came together so well, and it's a great track. And the Archangel one, I was really glad when you released that one, because I enjoyed that one as well, and that's just come out, the film clip. So I was like, oh, that's cool, that one's out now.
Good. I'm glad. It was also like maybe not so predictable, but yeah, I'm glad you like it. It seems to be well received.
Yeah, can you tell me a little bit about that clip? That's a story about, isn't it, Satan as well?
Hell yeah. Fall? Yes.
It was really cool.
Curious. Oh,
Yeah, and the clip looks good. The clip came out really, really well as too.
oh, thanks. It was filmed by Grupa 13 from Poland,
Yep.
I think they made like all behemoth music
Yeah.
videos. And I mean,
Yeah.
this is also something that we were able to do now, like thanks to or because of the Corona crisis, because now
Yes.
we had more time to really, find somewhere and travel there. And we spent like 2 weeks in total, I think. No, maybe not for I mean, we recorded now 3 videos with them. So first time we spent 4 days, and now we spent another 4 days. Yeah, it's like a little bit over a week. And yeah, this is something we wouldn't be able to do if it was that we had to do things in a rush, like travel between tours and stuff like this. So it was kind of a nice opportunity to find out these guys in Poland, and we think they did an awesome job. And yeah, the recording was very fun, and yeah, just the outfits. The guys, I think, look amazing. I never seen them like this before. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And yes, the song is obviously inspired by, the Archangel stories and
Yep.
the Paradise Lost, the war against God in heaven, and yeah, how the devil hit the earth, and how
Yep.
these devilish people are still, present because of
But,
that.
and that's what I like about the album. It has those different flavors. Like you're going heavy, you have those heavier tracks like Archangel and Boom, where GG gets his, really gets to flow in the groove of things. And then you have the great, beautiful songs like Crystalline we were mentioning before, and it just sits together so well. And I'd heard of you guys before, but this album, and I'd had to listen to you guys, but this album I'd actually liked. This one had really sold me. And what kind of really got me was the 82nd All the Way, the Sabaton cover about 8 months ago. I seen that and I'm like, I got to give this band another chance and dive back into it. And you know what? I'm really, really
Yay!
glad I did, eh?
Awesome, thank you. I'm
Yeah,
very glad
yeah.
too. Awesome.
Yeah, and I suppose what are restrictions like over your way? Are you looking at any shows this year? Because I was talking to Enslaved, and they said they can do some smaller shows, and it's going to be a little bit weird because everyone's got seating, but they're really keen to kind of play to some audiences again. And it's important for everyone to know restrictions are different all over the world at the moment. It's hard to keep up with everything.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the reason why it's impossible for a band to tour, because there is so many different rules in different countries. And but in Sweden, it's actually now we are allowed to have events for 500 people, which is kind of big. But we have not planned to do any shows yet this year.
Yeah.
We also have like a crew from abroad, and yeah, I don't know, it's a little bit tricky.
Makes it harder.
But for now we're like, I know Sabaton is making a tour in February in Sweden, only Sweden. So I mean, I'm glad for them that they can have, at least 500 people, which is kind of a big contrast from the tour that we did in Europe last year. No, this year. Oh my God. Yeah, this year.
It does feel like that though. This year does feel like every month is dragged out to 3 or 4. It's been a really weird year, but it's been great to discover albums like this and really dive into music and get through that side of it,
That's very true. Yeah. People, and also myself, I have a lot more time to like think and reflect and listen to music, and like, yeah, you get a different perspective on things. And of course, we long to go on the road. We have planned to go on a European tour in April, and it's going to be it's big venues, and we don't know yet if they will be open, but we're really hoping so. And of course, we cannot plan anything for like Japan, Australia, and US, because it's hard to know. But we were allowed to travel to Poland and record a music video. So I mean, at least that's something. We're not totally isolated. But it's weird. But
it is a weird time.
It is.
Yeah, it is a really weird time, but you know, it gives, like as I was just saying, gives everyone a chance to get out, grab this manifest, really dive into it. Elize, this
Mhm.
has been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to let you get about your night. I know you've probably got a ton of other interviews to do.
Yeah, no problem. I have another one in like 5 minutes, so yeah.
No worries. Thank you very much. Horns up from Australia. Thank you.
Thank you. It was awesome talking to you.